was kind of the part 2 that video I just made about going back into YouTube and trying to get started back up again. Bike's still here, it's the same day, everything. But I kind of just want to show you the mods, basically the free mods that you can do on a Sportster that I've done that I've actually kind of liked, and it actually helps a lot. These kind of mods are like, I think I have just, it's a couple mods that I'm doing. Parts haven't came yet, stuff like that. One mod's a free mod that I did as soon as I got it, particularly the license plate. Holder sticks way too far out. I mean, when you're riding, not even when you're riding, you back it out anywhere, it kind of catches. It just sticks out. It sticks out farther than the actual tail light itself. I don't like the look of it. It sticks too far out. So this is going to be a couple mods that you can do that are inexpensive and help you ride a lot more. First one being, if you are riding, like if you're riding any Harley in particular, license plate holder, for instance, like I said, one thing I did, this bracket here actually slid, this little groove here slid in this groove here. So what I did, this bolt was actually in between these right here and here, attached here, so it slid back and forth. I pulled it out and actually put it here so the plate would mount face down. Just because when the plate would mount, kind of show you. So it used to stick way out here, but now it's like up and down, and it's a lot more cleaner look because the tail light's here, so it's like a lot more cleaner. Plus, when you're backing out, it don't hook anything. That's one inexpensive mod that I've done. Well, it's actually a free mod. Really easy to do. It changes the look of the bike. Second mod that I'm going to do that haven't done it yet. When you're riding, and you guys, people know how I feel about this, but shifter. Your shifter is rubber, and you can see it's black. I mean, it's gonna leave black on your shoes. You can buy a metal one of these that match the brake, but you know your brake's on the bottom of your foot. You buy a metal one. The rubber wants to, like, it attracts all your road grime in. So if you get a metal one, it won't make your shoes as black, because I have all my riding boots that are actually black from the toe, black on the toe from the shifter. I mean, it helps a lot because I really don't like a black toe on my shoes. Next inexpensive, how do I say this? Not really expensive mod, but it's not really a mod either. It's kind of just preference. These Sportsters have no storage on them. Like, I mean, no storage. And I talked about this in the last video. I talked about this a little bit in the last video. But the Sportster 48s have zero storage at all. I mean, not even a little bit. Like on some motorcycles, like even cross rockets, have a little bit fender that it opens up and has a little bit of spot there you can stick maybe your insurance in, maybe your registration in it, stuff like that. Sportsters, not even a little bit. Like, even under the seat, you can't. Unless you want to stick it behind in the battery cover, which is not a good place for it because the air goes through there and it can fly out. Side bag, swing arm bag, whatever. I prefer Viking bags. That's the first bag I got on them, but it's a really nice bag. They make saddlebags. You have to look up the company. It's called Viking bags. Made for Harleys, made for Honda Shadows. I mean, any kind of motorcycle you think of. Probably not really in the cross rocket aspect, but more about in the cruisers, stuff like that, like your Harleys and your Hondas and all those. You know what I'm talking about. I get a saddlebag, even like a saddlebag or a single. This is a swing arm bag, but just that little bit of extra storage, to be able to put a little bit of like anything in there. Like in my bag, I have my registration for the bike in there. Just anything. If I'm going on a really long ride, I might keep a water bottle in there, just pull off and want to drink somewhere or something like that. Anything. Also, the Sportsters, a 2-gallon gas tank. like I said in the last video, not very much at all. So you actually buy a little bitty vented canister that it'll mount on your frame up front. Usually it mounts, I think it's on this side, but it's a little bitty canister that mounts on your frame right here. And actually it'll hold, I think, like 36 ounces or like something of gas, which that's a lot for a Sportster. I mean, real small tank. I mean, you can get anything you take, and just that little bit extra gas, and you maybe the next 5 miles to a gas station. It's a lot better than pushing this thing. This thing weighs a ton. I mean, it might be small. It's basically a naked bike because it got no fairings on it at all, but it's heavy. I mean, it's no light girl. I mean, she likes to way down the road. So there was my personal mods, I guess you can do for little to no cost. Also, one big thing, the mirrors. This bike, I think it was 15 and up. The mirrors actually came like this down. But all you do is take a screw out. If they're up, the screw's in the bottom. All you do is take a screw out and flip them. Like I think you flip them both ways, like left one's on the, something like that. I don't know how it's done. But all you do is flip them upside down because I feel like it looks a lot cooler like this because it's not something sticking up way high above the handlebars. But also when you're riding, instead of actually having to look up at your mirrors, you're actually looking. It's almost more comfortable because it shows under your arm, past your back, shoulder. So I think it's almost safer because you have to look over your arm. So people that wear like, I don't know, big flannels, stuff like that, big coats, I mean, they want to flap in the wind, and you'll be able to see that a lot more if your mirrors are up here. Whereas your mirrors down here, you see past you, and you see behind you a lot more. That's just my preference when it comes to mirrors. Also, one thing that I will very quickly do, because I found out people don't see you when you're on a motorcycle because they are very dangerous. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody says they're very dangerous, but my experience, I've had this for like a couple months, and just riding like this by myself, it's so dangerous because I've had like 2 cars pull out in front of me already. It's not even seen me, I guess. One thing I like to do, what I'm willing to do, is upgrade all your lights on it. I always leave the high beam on. I mean, high beam is always on. If I'm riding, my high beam's on all the time because you have to be seen. So I'm actually looking at, I think it's like maybe a 10,000 lumen LED right now. I'm gonna see if I can find any higher than that. Just one that's obnoxiously bright, or even like one that's strobed a little bit. Like they make housings, the full housing you can get. It's got a little bit of strobe light at the bottom of it, I think, something like that. That and the turn signals. I mean, the back of this bike has 2 turns. It's got 2 brake lights basically, and one blinks, the other one's red, and it's like that, so and so. But you can buy a little bitty LED strip that goes in the back fender. That is just that extra light source people can see. Because frankly, you can't be seen in all this thing. I mean, it's black. I mean, unless you're wearing a neon jacket, you're not going to be seen at all. I mean, just pulling out of a gas station, people pull right in front of you. Don't look at you. I mean, it's like you're never there. They just wait right in front of you and don't say anything. That and exhaust ain't really a big one. Lights more one of the mods I think would be. Yes, you can be louder, but being louder doesn't mean you can be heard because even though you can be loud where you're at right now, people may be like, I don't know, 50 feet that way, not gonna hear you at all. I mean, the sound's behind you, main thing. So that's my most rated mod that people might think that it's not a very good mod. Get lights. I mean, get the brightest lights you can get. I mean, don't be obnoxiously bright. You always shine people's headlights and like that, right people's eyes and everything like that. But just being seen is being aware, something like that. That and yeah, I don't know. But I guess it'd be a second part to the first video I made. So we will get some more videos in the future, and we'll see you later.